Treba nešto pritisniti.
Hello, and welcome to our Google session on Storybird, our Creativity Web 2.0 tool this week. In the Hangout, looks like we have Susanna joining us. Susanna, where are you coming in from?
I'm coming from Serbia.
Serbia. I am in Doha, Qatar. My name is Dr. Susie Gronseth, and I'm on the faculty for University of Houston in Houston, Texas. What kind of educational context do you work in, Susanna?
I'm a language teacher. I'm teaching English and German.
What was that? English and what?
German.
English and German. What levels? What ages?
5th till 8th grade, primary school.
Okay, well, I think that Storybird will be a tool that you can use in your classes. It's a really neat tool, and so I'm looking forward to exploring it with you. Let me demonstrate some things in the tool, and then we can have a conversation and people can ask questions about the tool, and we can look to see how we can apply it in our own teaching areas. So I'm going to share my screen with everyone. Here we go. Okay. So the Storybird website is storybird.com. And this is a free tool. The tools that we highlight in this course are absolutely free. A lot of tools these days do have premium features, and this is one of them. But this one has a lot of features for the free account. As an educator, you sign up and indicate that you are an educator, and that will enable the classroom component that I'm going to show you in this session tonight. But it tells you about all the different features on the home page. You can use it to build literacy, to enhance lesson plans. There are 3 diverse formats: picture books, long-form stories, and poetry. Student privacy is protected. I'm going to show you some of the ways that they do that. That you can create assignments in the teacher account. You can share student work in the class library, and you can use it with classes up to 35 students for the free account. So I'm going to sign in because I already created an account and some sample materials for you all tonight. And I'm signed into the page, and if I look up at the upper left, I see different sections. There's a notification section, a section about me where I can change some settings, upgrade the membership, add to my profile. There's a studio area, and this is the feature just for teachers where you can create classes, add assignments, and I'm going to come back to this. There's the writing area. This is where we actually create the stories built around some very nice original artwork that volunteers have designed and submitted. And there's a section to read stories. And there are some really, really great stories for all different age levels, from preschool all the way up through adult. So you can just search for a story in a different category, like, let's see, how about something about friends? And we can choose long form, and let's see about tweens, ages 8 to 12. And from that search, as you can see, there are quite a few stories. This one named Miss Popular has 5 chapters so far. If we wanted to preview one of those chapters, it's quite a bit of content there. So there's a lot of possibilities for reading online within this website in the Read section. All right, I would like to show you how to create one of the story types, and that's poetry. And to do that, I'm going to have my oldest son.
Hey.
His name is Cade. Cade, how old are you?
6.
What grade are you in?
First grade.
All right, so Cade is 6. He's in first grade. I'm going to give the controls over to him. Here you go, Cade. You can have control of the mouse.
Okay.
And we're going to share the screen again. And he's going to show you how to do the poetry. So I created an account for Cade. Let me log out of my account. Within my class, I created one for him, and it has the privacy features. So we're going to log into his account. Okay. So he's going to go to the right section.
And click right. There's you and read. So if you want to read books, you can.
Okay, so he clicked the right section, and all we're looking at are pictures with some tags on the left-hand side. These pictures will serve as the inspiration for his poem. So what kind of picture are you looking for tonight?
Zombie.
All right, so let's look for a zombie. He's going to type in the search term zombies. There we go.
Okay.
And hit enter. Okay, so before we look at the pictures, if we look on the left-hand side, we can see that there are 21 long-form books, that's like chapter books, about zombies that have the zombie tag. There's over 6,000 picture books with the zombie tag, so this is a popular topic to write about. 16 artwork pieces and 3 people with the zombie tag. Okay, Cade, so let's look through the artwork and see if you can find one that will inspire some writing.
There's some yucky pictures here. I choose one.
I'm going to choose the zombie arms one. Okay, so before we go any further, looking at this particular picture, we can see that the artist is Aaron Bletcha, and Aaron is from London. He created this a few years ago and has the copyright for it. It's been hearted over 100 times. That means people within this website like this image and have favorited it and have shared it 32 times. You can see that there are some other art pieces by him that are similar to that, located below that, and you can look at the comments that people have said about this particular piece. Okay, so now Cade's going to click the button that says use this art.
It's on like top or bottom.
Uh-huh.
So I'll click top because it's easier.
And we're in Safari on a Mac.
So if you want to do a picture book, you can.
Mm-hmm.
But this time we're going to do a poem.
That's right. So it's going to load the page with the picture and some preloaded words. So the way that Storybird works with the poetry option is that you can't type in words. You're constrained to using the words that are provided by Storybird. And there's a reason for that. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But he's going to separate the words so that they're not overlapping and he can see which options he has. The words are not necessarily tied to a particular picture, so if he chose this picture again tomorrow, it would have a different set of words. And he can reload this page to get a different set of words if he didn't like this set. But it's really interesting to see what you can come up with when you're given the constraint of working with the words that are provided for you. It's kind of like refrigerator magnet poetry. All right, so how are we going to start this poem?
The.
Okay, we've got a the.
I didn't know that that was there.
Uh-huh.
And so, look, if you like put it over here, see it says words can't overlap and must be entered on the page.
Right, words cannot overlap on your page, and they have to be on the white page in the center fully. They can't be just partially on the page. So it'll tell you that message every time when you start to add the words.
Arms?
Let's see.
Look on that side.
I don't see arms. So we have the. We're going to need some type of noun. I see rabbit, waltz, land, maps, sunrise, glimpses.
Nobody.
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 Okay. Do you want to do that?
The nobody.
Okay.
Wait. Wait, what can I do?
Lots of choices. You've got owl on the right side, creatures, explorers,
Okay.
dreams, sound.
What did I do?
There you go. There's your mouse.
Okay.
All right, so let's get some words on our page.
So what do I need? Waltz? What's waltz?
Waltz is a type of dance.
I need a waltz. Uh-oh. I read a book. Is there a book?
No.
I am serious.
Okay, so we're going to start with I.
Am. And
There's an am over here on the left-hand side.
So, I am serious.
Uh-huh.
And.
Okay, there's the and.
And. Magical.
I am serious and magical.
That means that I'm like serious, but like when I'm really serious, when I'm angry, I become magical, and when people don't think that when he gets angry or something, he does magical things to the things that he gets angry at.
That's good thinking, Cade. So at the bottom, we have options to either leave the words as black and white, or we can choose them to be different shades that match the image that we have chosen. What color do you want your words to be? Black and white or a shade of green?
That one.
Okay.
Shade
Now,
green.
at the lower left, there's a menu. Click that and click on Publish. We'll let that process, and your poem has been published. So there is a link to Cade's poem.
And you can email it?
Yes, we can email it. Let's copy the link and show them what that looks like. So I copied it and I pasted it into my address bar, and this is what Cade's poem looks like from that URL.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
And I want to show you the privacy settings. Because Cade's account is a student account within one of my classes, his account automatically has his stories published as private. That means that they're not going to be searched through the website. if he wanted to create a public version of this story that could be archived and indexed on their website, then he would need to create an account outside of my free account. And so then we click continue, and that'll bring us back to this page. All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you very much, Cade. You want to wave goodbye?
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Cade. Go ahead. I'm going to show a few more things about Storybird before we end the session, particularly when it comes to the classroom features. So I'm sharing my screen again, and I'm going to just show you one more thing within Cade's account. In the upper left, there is a notification. I issued an assignment called $1 million, and I assigned it to the class that he's in, and so it comes up as a notification. If I click on it, that's going to take me to the assignment, so I want you to see what the students would see. This is the assignment that I created. It's the writing prompt, what would you do if someone just gave you $1 million? And I created an assignment around that so that if they clicked do this assignment, they could search for an image. Here's one that has some money in it. And I want to use this for a picture book. So in the picture book option, you can actually write. They don't give you the words like in the poetry, but they suggest a bunch of other images that would go along with your first image. So I'm in the picture book option. If $1 Okay, so that's my first page. I can put a cover on my book. Now in the free account, all I have access to is the classic type cover. If I click on one of these other type covers, it's a premium cover. It wouldn't let me. So I need to choose a classic cover. Let my one. And it has the student name. All right. So now I have a cover, and the first page, I can add more pages by clicking the plus sign. And then I can choose an image, drag it to my screen. Here we go. Then I would buy a jetpack outer space. So that's how I'm writing my story. I'm having some trouble saving it, but the options to publish it look just the same as in the poetry. All right, let's see if we can save. Nope, it's still not saving, but that's okay. Let me go out to my account, and I want to show you how I set that up. Okay, so we're going to go back into my account. And let's see here, assignments. I'm in the studio section. If I click on assignments, you can see that I've created that $1 million assignment. I also created an assignment called My Weekend and one called Life Cycles. if I wanted to create another assignment, all I do is click that Create an Assignment button. And say I wanted to create an assignment about students to describe a new kind of monster. And where it, okay? And though you can't upload images to the stories, you can upload an image when you're creating an assignment. And what I do is I go to a free site called Picturebook, and I would search for something associated with that assignment that I'm creating. In this case, I'm looking for a silly-looking monster. Here's a good one. These images are public domain. They're free to use. No attribution is required. So I'm just going to download it. There's the image. It's downloaded on my computer, so I just need to upload it to my assignment. Let me find it in my downloads. And I like to give an image credit when I use images from anywhere, even if it is public domain. All right, so we uploaded the image. We can constrain students by using just a specific artist or just a specific tag or all artwork, and we can constrain the type of format that they use. So maybe we want them to do just a picture book, and we can set a due date. Let's set it for a few weeks from now and save the assignment. So this is what the assignment looks like. It's just got an image to go with the assignment, but they will choose their own images when they create their picture book. So let me show you how to create a class. You're looking at a class that I created called Educational Technology, but you just click Add a Class to create another one. And remember, in the free account I can have up to 35 students. So that could be across different classes. You just give the class a name, school name, country, zip code, the level, and the subject, and it will create that class. And then you can add students by clicking in the students area. Make sure you, if you have multiple classes, choose which class you want them to add them to. And you click Add or Invite Students. And this is where you can put in usernames and optionally first and last name, or you can connect students' pre-existing accounts to your class. So if Storybird really takes off at your school, students can use it from one class to another. So if Cade's teacher starts using it this year and his teacher next year wants to use it, he can transfer that account from one teacher to another by using this class access code, or by having his new teacher physically move the students, or his original teacher to move the students to the new teacher's account. So the new teacher would need to have an account, and then we can associate it to their account by email. So that's kind of neat that the students could keep the accounts essentially for quite a while. Lastly, before we take some questions, within the class section, we can review the submissions by the students. So we can see that Cade's been doing some poetry and practicing for this session, and we can take a look at what he's done. And you can do some grading with the premium account. This is not a learning management system, so really your grading would your gradebook most likely would be somewhere else. But you could provide some feedback to the student, and students can comment on each other's submissions, they will appear in the library section. So within your class, all the submissions that people are working on will appear in the library. This is another student I created, Sophia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So students could go and add some comments about what their classmate is working on. And as a teacher, you can moderate those comments. Let me go back to the studio. If I click moderate comments, any comments that would appear here, I can approve or delete. So I can make sure that they're appropriate before they show up on other students' accounts. So it's very secure. All right, so that is a quick overview of Storybird. We have about 5 minutes left. Let me go back to the Hangout and stop sharing my screen. All right, I am back. So are there questions or things that ideas that you have for this tool? This particular tool is not a communications tool, it's a creativity tool. So it's really not conducive for people in the Hangout session to contribute to any of these stories live on the session, unlike Padlet was. But if you are in this Hangout session, it's nice to actually meet you face to face and talk with you. So that's why we do send the invites, and other tools might be better for some online interaction. But Storybird is a great one for creativity, so that's why we highlighted it here. Okay. So let me look on the events page and see if we have any questions about Storybird. Welcome to Tamara from Croatia. If you have any questions, you can post them in the questions in this Hangout or on the events page. While we're waiting for more questions, I wanted to share with you a few more ideas for how to use Storybird. Let me share my screen again. Okay. I have a presentation with a few ideas. Some nonfiction writing for elementary students. We've got I Spy, colors, shapes, number of items within an image. You can have students explain the rules of a sport or a favorite activity, like how many players are on a soccer team or what are the rules of the game. There's a persuasive writing prompt, why I have the best mom in the world. So they could choose an image that looks like a mom and a child, and they could create a picture book that could lend itself to be a great Mother's Day present. You can print out PDFs of the stories. They're not free in the free account. They are in the more premium account, but that isn't a great option if the students do a good job. Some nonfiction writing prompts for middle school students. They could diagram the parts that make up a simple machine and describe how the machine works. They could talk about Newton's laws. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. So it could be fiction writing that they use this tool for, or it could be nonfiction. Something that Cade's teacher does every Sunday, which is the first day of the work week in Qatar, is do a what did you do over the weekend writing prompt. And so she could do that in Storybird and have students create a picture book about what they did over the weekend. States of matter. What are the states of matter and what can we observe in the everyday world? Here's some prompts for high school students. Science vocabulary or lab reports. Describing economics concepts. Describing what life was like in the 1920s. And there's a particular artist, Flapperdoodle, that has some really great artwork for this assignment. You can also adapt journal writing prompts. Let me go and make sure that I'm sharing the correct window with you. So this is a website that has a variety of journal writing prompts. Let me find it on my screen here. Here it is. So this is where I got the idea about the $1 million, about the monster. What would you do if you could travel into the future? What would you do if all the electricity in the world just stopped? What would you do if you were locked inside your favorite department store overnight? So lots of writing ideas there. Some more lesson ideas. Students can talk about money management. They can do poetry in the seasons. They can do persuasive pet stories or letters. They can do adventure stories, teaching vocabulary and having students create stories that include the new vocabulary words. They can use this as a tool for centers. In our session yesterday, our Google Hangout session yesterday, there was an idea of someone who teaches in higher ed that said that she uses it for her students to create stories to be used in a hospital setting that children in the hospital can read. So she does use it in higher ed for that. If you have more ideas, you can share them on the Google Hangout discussion board. So we're getting close to wrapping up. Let me go back to our main window here. So this is a pretty intuitive tool. Cade learned it within a day. Of course, he's 6 and he is very tech savvy, as a lot of kids are. So it doesn't take a whole lot to get up and running with this tool. All right, Susanna, do you have any comments since you joined me in this session? It was nice to see you face to face.
I put the question on the chat box. Is it possible to use Storybird in some other language or only English? Is there a possibility to use Storybird in some other language?
That's a great question. Can we use Storyboard in another language? And we've had that question in some of the other tools that we've used because we have teachers from all over the world in this course.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that you could try out an international keyboard, another keyboard with the Storyboard tool, particularly like the Picturebook format or the long format, and see if it works.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried it myself, and then report back to us on the Google Hangout discussion forum on our course site. But I've just been playing around with it in English. So yeah, try it in German and let us know if it works for you.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there are any stories in the read section in other languages, but we have a lot of people in this class that could look that up and report back. But it looked to me like most everything was going to be in English. But it would be interesting to see if you could populate it with books in other languages.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
That's a great question. Thank you for adding that to our session. All right, we're wrapping up. It's a really nice tool. I see a question that says, when you say in the free version allows you to have only 35 students, is it per class or is the total number? I believe that is the total number. You can create multiple classes and then add and delete students as long as it's 35 or less. You should be okay. Let me see if there are any other questions on our events page before I say goodbye. And I don't see any. All right. Before we close out, I do want to mention that there will be an announcement about the final project that we're putting together for this class. And it's not meant to be some huge project, but just a opportunity for you to implement one of the powerful tools that you've picked up through the course. And the idea is that, especially if you are currently teaching in some context, that you would take some activity that you normally do in a non-digital or using maybe more of an analog tool and use one of the powerful tools to do that same kind of activity. So, for example, if my son's teacher decided to take Storybird and do what I did over the weekend activity using the class computers that they have in his class, and then reported back how that went, that would be a great final action research project for the class. So it's not something extra that she's not already doing, but it's something that she's an activity that she already has planned in her class, but she's using one of these powerful tools to expand the audience, to improve efficiency, to increase engagement, to tap into some creativity. So that's the idea for the Action Research Project, and you'll be seeing an announcement from Dr. Sarah McNeil very soon, within the next day, that's going to introduce that, and we have more information in the week 4 material, but I just wanted to tease that for you. All right, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's 6:36 here in Doha, Qatar. It's nice that we can meet and look at these tools and be in all different places. So I will see you possibly next week in this session or in the discussion forums in the course. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is where you are. Bye-bye. Bye, Susanna.
Bye.